Today we're going to look at Legend of the Amazon Women, which was released in 1987. So let's load it up and see what it's like. Looking at the packaging, this is one of the more eye-catching pieces of cover art, I think you'd agree. I'm sure many a teenage boy was captivated by that and gladly paid their $1.99 for this game. This seems to have an extra little logo on called Silvertime, which may be the development company that produced the game and then sold it to Mastertronic. It's another variation on the packaging. As I mentioned, this game's from 1987, so the packaging has moved well away from the grid style packaging by now. And on the back we've got some screenshots which look quite decent, and this description of the game. Stranded in the middle of the jungle after a terrible plane crash, your child has been stolen by a trio of Amazon warriors. They want to raise her as one of their own. You must fight your way through the jungle past Amazon's armed with clubs, swords and axes, avoiding the many arrows. Moving to the inside of the packaging, something that I've not noticed before, there's a sort of promotion for some of the other games that are available, and also at the bottom of this we've got mention of Mastervision and a selection of music titles. I know Mastertronic did start to branch out into other areas of music and video, so there's an example of that. And of course you've got the instructions with the controls, which look pretty straightforward, and a bit more information about how to play the game. So in the meantime, the game has loaded, so let's take a look at it and see what it's like. Get a game started and see how we get on. So you can see this, there's a map at the top of the screen which shows you when arrows are flying in towards you and also when enemies are coming towards you, which is quite clever. The graphics are quite well drawn. So the idea of the game is to beat up these Amazon women and save your daughter. You'll note that the characters are all a bit more conservatively dressed than they were on the cover art, and also for some reason the woman that you're controlling looks exactly the same as the Amazon women, dressed in exactly the same kind of outfit. But I will say that they are quite nicely drawn and nicely animated characters. The movement, the animation of the walking and so on is quite nice. Combat's incredibly basic. It's basically just swing the club either over your head or point it straight at it or low. The good side of it is that the arrows actually hurt the enemies as well, so if you're clever enough to dodge for long enough, then you might actually be able to kill them without even hitting them, at least in the earlier stages of the game. There's also a timer on the game which ticks down indefinitely. Got it. There we go. One down. Oh, duck. So as you can see, nice animation when she's walking. If you want to go backwards, by the way, it's just backwards in the same direction. It literally is backwards and not walking the other direction. So it's a sort of mix between walking along and fighting, and also keeping an eye on the radar to make sure you're not about to get hit by a flying arrow. It's quite satisfying to duck an arrow and let it smash your enemy in the face, but I seem to be rubbish at ducking the or jumping I should say, the ones that are coming low down. The chance of me beating this one are pretty slim, I would say. Oh, you can do a forward jump as well, which doesn't seem to serve any purpose really. Oh, yeah, I'm dead. So when you're dead, you have got several lives, so it all goes quiet for a moment. The Amazon lady walks off, and eventually you get up and it's all over again. So it's pretty much a very basic scrolling beat 'em up. The radar's a nice idea, I like that. The graphics are quite nice, but there's not really much else to say for it. Gameplay wise, it's very dull, as you can see. It's poke the lady with a club over and over again. That's pretty much it, don't know what else to say. Worth $1.99? Probably not really. Maybe just about for the cover art and the graphics, but gameplay wise, pretty dull.